You sit down with a quick processed ham sandwich and a soda for lunch. You might read the nutrition label, spot the acceptable daily intake numbers for the additives, and assume those limits ensure the food is safe. But who actually paid for the science that determined those exact numbers? The data used to validate these chemicals is largely financed by the exact corporations that would lose billions of dollars if they were restricted. To see how this works, we have to look at the Structural Conflict of Interest Exclusion List. It maps out a massive, interlocking corporate cartel that actively manipulates global food safety standards. Trusting that ingredient list requires a blind faith in an ecosystem engineered to prioritize profit margins over human biology. The first tier begins with the global meat giants, industrial processors like JBS, Tyson, and Hormel Foods. To keep millions of pounds of packaged meat pink and shelf-stable across global supply chains, they require extremely high-speed curing processes. The indispensable chemical linchpins of this high-volume operation are additives E249 through E251, synthetic nitrites and nitrates. If global regulators lower the acceptable daily intake limits for these specific chemicals, the processors cannot maintain their current production speeds. The entire industrial matrix collapses. These companies are structurally compromised. Admitting any objective biological danger regarding these nitrites directly threatens their foundational revenue streams. Bread and cheese conglomerates like Grupo Bimbo or Kraft Heinz have a shared interest in defending those same meat additives. The processed cheese and bread are packed with industrial emulsifiers. These act as zonulin triggers, prying open the cellular barrier of your intestinal wall. With these gut gates forced wide, nitrites surge straight through the gaps, multiplying the rate your body absorbs the chemical. Then you sip your drink, bringing beverage giants into the equation. High-phosphate soda washes over the meal, creating an acidic environment. This acid acts as a catalyst, rapidly mutating the nitrites into highly toxic, carcinogenic compounds called nitrosamines. These distinct food sectors are unified by a single biochemical reaction. To avoid massive reformulation costs, they collectively protect the entire chemical matrix from regulatory scrutiny. This interconnected network successfully keeps a reactive chemical cocktail legally approved by world governments through a hidden layer of the supply chain. Global ingredient brokers like Cargill and ADM actively design, patent, and supply these synergistic additive blends to the processors. To protect their custom formulas, these chemical brokers pump massive funding into private industry research to defend the safety of their products. Trade associations like the International Life Sciences Institute use this funding to publish favorable safety studies. They convert financial needs into seemingly objective scientific data. Armed with this data, industry lobbyists pressure regulators to review every additive in total isolation. They actively block government agencies from testing how these chemicals react together in a real-world meal. The official safety stamp on our food is a laundered approval, systematically purchased by the cartel's own research wing. Look at the sandwich and soda again. This is a carefully engineered, legally protected chemical matrix. Declarations of no conflict of interest on safety studies are meaningless when the researchers are tethered to this ecosystem. From the chemical manufacturer to the meat packer and the soda brand, the entire global supply chain shares a structural dependency on keeping additive limits high. True food safety requires investigating the financial origins of our data and scrutinizing the global institutions that validate it. The safety limit on your nutrition label is a structural lie manufactured by a cartel.